Welcome to another Tuesday Tips at 2 with the Goldbergs here at the new Goldberg HQ. What's that? A gigantic fish tank in our brand new lobby? Yeah, that's right. Big and large. Oh, look how huge this thing is. Okay, special inflation edition here to discuss contracts and how to deal with contractual uncertainty in the age of inflation. Ready? Let's get going here. This is specifically geared towards contractors and subcontractors, but not necessarily just limited to them. Others are going to be impacted by inflation, so hear me out. You're presented with a request by someone to do something. Fill in the blank. Build a house. Build them a pool. Correct the this. Renovate the that. Supply them with this or that. And you say, sure, how we always do things is provide you a quote for what we're gonna do and a price to go with it. Here you go, customer. What do you say? In the olden times, the customer might sit on it for a week or two or three or a few months and come back to you and say, you know what, I'm ready to do this. I'm signing here on the bottom of the dotted line. When can you get started? I'm ready to pay. And you would say, oh, great, well, let me figure it out and let me see when my crews are available or the this or the that, ready to go. Not any longer is that a real possibility. Someone shows up, asks you for a quote, you provide a quote, they come back in 2 months and the price for the material that you were going to use has skyrocketed exponentially. Inflation is a real problem. It's a real problem in that it causes uncertainty. And contracts are intended to create certainty and to apportion the risk, i.e., I am willing to do this or that for this price, and I'm signing my name to it. I'm now committed, even if it becomes difficult to do that or unprofitable to do it at that price range. So how do you deal with it? What's to be done? Don't worry, there's a fix for you. First, put a simple time clause on your offer. If you're quoting a price to do whatever, build out whatever, and it takes in all these supplies, you can just say, this offer is good for 2 weeks. Make a decision. After that, I'm gonna have to reprice it. 2 weeks too long? Make it 1 week. 1 week too long? Make it 3 days. It doesn't matter. It's your contract, these are your provisions, and you are permitted to go about it however you want. And in the quote itself, you can say it's not just that the contract must be signed by X amount of time to secure this actual deal. You can literally say, I need the money in my pocket by this date for me to be able to go get these products by this date. That's just something that you got to deal with on your end. And from a contractor's perspective, let's say that it's a big, massive project and you're going to be purchasing these products at this stage and then those products and that supplies at that stage. For example, you do your demo first of the existing structure, then you might frame out pour the concrete, then you might frame it out, etc., etc. You might just have to include it in the contract, a special price for you to get storage so that you can go get all of the materials that you know will be needed in the project on the front end and store them during the pendency of the project and then pull from them as needed. Then you know they're safe, they're secure, and they're locked into that very price that you are gambling on to be the actual price for the project without then losing money in it. Another option is to walk away from the fixed flat fee contract. Instead, a lot of contractors might do a cost plus contract. I will offer my services, you pay all expenses, whatever those expenses are. My services are at this flat fee and all of my subcontractors will be doing X, Y, and Z at this flat fee. But whatever materials we have to purchase, we're gonna hand you the receipts, you have to pay. And your contract can include a provision that says, an estimate for all the expenses will be $50,000, $100,000, $300,000, $2 million that must be paid up front for then the contractor or the subcontractor to pull off from and pay as needed. And if there's any left over, the money must be handed back. If it wasn't enough, then you can submit the additional invoices or the additional expenses, receipts, etc. for you to get paid. Another option could be flat fee. However, if inflationary pressures change the product pricing for all these supplies more than what the current line item by line item, which we'll have to specify, is, we get to charge you, the customer, for that change in circumstance. Let's say it's a $100,000 contract, and out of that $20,000 goes towards lumber, and lumber increases by 20%. So what's 20% of $20,000? Is that $4,000? Yes, $4,000. My math's still good. Then you get to send a bill for the additional $4,000. These aren't pretty, necessarily pretty and easy options, in that it could create friction between you and the customer, but you have to protect yourself and you have to protect your own business so that you're not losing money on a job that before would have been simple and easy to predict. These are crazy times and you just have to adjust for it. There are stories out of Zimbabwe during the height of their hyperinflation in the 2000s, thanks Robert Mugabe, or out of Venezuela, thanks Chavez and Maduro, over the past decade, where people that own restaurants would post a price on their menu in the morning which would not be applicable by the evening. It's crazy. What are you going to do? Danny Goldberg, providing you with a few ideas on how to deal with this current insanity. Until next time, we'll see you.